Welcome back to teleSUR English. We now go live to Antigua and Barbuda as the swearing-in ceremony for the Prime Minister Gaston Browne is underway.
The Governor General affixing his signature here. So this is the formal process. Of course, hours after the results of the poll, we announced the governing Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party retaining office, albeit with a reduced majority.
I, Gaston Browne, do swear that I will not, on any account, at any time whatsoever, disclose any counsel, advice, opinion, or vote given by any minister as a member of the Cabinet, and that I will not, except with the authority of the Cabinet, and to such extent as may be required for the proper conduct of the government of Antigua and Barbuda, directly or indirectly reveal the business or proceedings of the Cabinet or any matter coming to my knowledge as a member of the Cabinet. So help me God.
That was the oath of secrecy taken by the Prime Minister, who was earlier on the oath of allegiance, as well as the vote on the oath of office. So 3 oaths taken by the Prime Minister. Governor General again affixing his signature. Of course, again, this is the formal process. The formal process of government continuing in a democracy. And of course, following the vote of the people, the Prime Minister retains
Gaston Alfonso
office.
Browne, Esquire. Greetings. By virtue of the power and authority vested in me under subsection 1 and 2A of section 69 of the Constitution of Antigua and Barbuda, I hereby appoint you, Gaston Alfonso Browne, Esquire, to hold the office of Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda and Minister of Finance, Corporate Governance, and Public-Private Partnerships, with effect from the 19th day of January 2023, given under my hand and the public seal this 19th day of January 2023, in the first year of His Majesty's reign. Heartiest congratulations.
Stedroy Cutie Olivero Benjamin to be Attorney General of Antigua and Barbuda.
I, Stedroy Cutie Olivero Benjamin, do swear that I will honor, uphold, and preserve the Constitution of Antigua and Barbuda and the law, that I will conscientiously, impartially, and to the best of my ability, discharge my duties as Attorney General and do right to all manner of people, without fear or favor, affection or ill will. So help me God. I, Stedroy Cutie Olivero Benjamin, do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God.
The Attorney General taking the oath of allegiance. Of course, taking the oath of allegiance to the monarch, King Charles III. And this oath will continue as long as the country remains constitutional monarchy.
I, Stedroy Cutie Oliver Benjamin do swear that I will not on any account, at any time whatsoever, disclose any counsel, advice, opinion, or vote given by any minister as a member of the cabinet, and that I will not, except with the authority of the cabinet, and to such extent as may be required for the proper conduct of the government of Antigua and Barbuda, directly or indirectly, reveal the proceedings of the cabinet or any other matter coming to my knowledge as a member of the cabinet. So help me God.
The oath of secrecy taken by the Attorney General. Governor General now affixes his signature to the instrument of appointment and will now present that instrument of appointment to the Attorney General. Of course, you're seeing before your very eyes the new administration taking shape.
Steadroy QT Olivero Benjamin Esquire, greetings. By virtue of the power and authority vested in me, on the subsection 4 of section 69 of the Constitution of Antigua and Barbuda, I hereby appoint you, Steadroy QT Olivero Benjamin Esquire, to hold the office of Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Public Safety and Labor, with effect from the 19th day of January 2023, given under my hand and the public seal this 19th day of January 2023 in the first year of His Majesty's reign. Heartiest congratulations.
So the Attorney General, duly appointed to his position, having received his instrument of appointment from Governor General His Excellency Sir Rodney Williams.
We will now, ladies and gentlemen, have His Excellency take the official photographs, first with Prime Minister, the Honourable Gaston Browne, and Mrs. Maria Browne.
So the official photographs now being taken, of course, for keepsake. And we're looking at, as I said, the foundations being laid for the new administration hours after the final results of the polls were announced. Of course, as you see, the photographers making sure that they are getting the perfect shot. Back in the days, we would say the Kodak moment. Well, Kodak is almost an anachronism these days, but the Kodak moment.
Attorney General of Antigua and Barbuda, the Honourable Steadroy Olivero Benjamin.
The Attorney General, of course, taking his photograph with the Governor General.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Kindly stand as His Excellency Sir Rodney Williams departs.
Let me try to get it now.
We will now continue with the photographs. Prime Minister and the Honourable Gaston Browne and Mrs. Browne and other members of the family and colleagues and
continuation of his administration, a new administration for the Prime Minister, and creating history yesterday as the only Prime Minister, the first one to have gotten three consecutive terms in office. They're being congratulated by other winning members of the ABLP, i.e. Darrell Matthew, Charles Max Fernandez, Sir Molwyn Joseph, E.P. Green, Melford Nicholas. And let's be sure that we have seen everybody in the line. So, of course, Melford Nicholas, Darrell Matthew, the Attorney General, Maria Brown, the wife of the Prime Minister, Charles Max Fernandez, Sir Molwyn Joseph, E.P. Green, and Sir Robin Yearwood. Sir Robin Yearwood will become certainly the longest serving. In fact, he will, in this term, after having staved off a very stern challenge, a very strong challenge from Alex Brown, St. Philip North, will do 5 decades, and certainly the veterans of the ABLP would have ensured that the party remains in government. A very, very strong challenge facing the ABLP, but it was able to withstand the challenge, survive the challenge, to retain government. So, of course, the photographers making sure that they get the perfect photograph. And,
thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We invite you to enjoy some delicacies prepared for you this morning. Thank you very much for coming.
All right, so a short ceremony here is, of course, moderated by Maurice Merchant, making sure that, as I said, the foundations of the new Gaston Browne administration are laid with the appointment and with the swearing in of the Prime Minister and his Attorney General. The two first appointments to the cabinet, of course, and tomorrow we'll see the appointment to the cabinet of other members of the administration, other ministers, and of course to fill out the administration. Let's hear from Ambassador Lionel Max Hurst. There you go. So I almost give you another name there. So your reaction to what has happened, of course, is the foundation being laid for the new administration of Prime Minister Browne.
Some additional family photos.
As more photos are being taken, your reactions?
Well, first, this is the first time in the history of Antigua and Barbuda since independence that a Prime Minister has been elected for a 3rd term. So that is in itself a victory. The second, of course, is that a win is a win is a win. And 9 seats are 9 seats, which gives us a majority. And second and third, we have a manifesto to guide us, and that manifesto lists a number of very important projects that are going to take place and, in fact, have begun taking place. So they will mature. We think that the Labour Party has quite an ambitious agenda and that we will be able to fulfill it, even with 9 persons in the Parliament.
Looking forward to a lot of individuals looking eagerly to see the composition of the remaining members of the cabinet tomorrow, with fewer ministers or fewer MPs this time to work with. How do you think the Prime Minister is going to navigate that?
Well, I know for sure that he's going to begin the process this morning, and I see additional portfolios being assigned to the elected representatives, so that those who were in the Parliament that are no longer there, the Minister of Social Transformation, for example, the Minister of Gender Affairs and so on, Barbuda Affairs, we can see that he has to assign them to another elected member who is seated in the cabinet. So we want to continue to give as much applause and support to all the cabinet members who will, in fact, be a part of this this new undertaking beginning the 19th of January.
Yes, indeed. and in terms of your reaction to what happened yesterday, well, last night into this morning, with the election results, what do you make of it?
First, the UPP began a campaign more than 2 years ago, selected their candidates and so forth. Mind you, they were prompted to do so by our Prime Minister. And we didn't think that they would continue to have sufficient energy to go all the way through to the election itself. As it turns out, they did, and some of their candidates displaced some of ours. But this is the nature of democracy. And if a party demonstrates its willingness to serve like they did, and the people are persuaded that they can serve, then so be it in our democracy. And this is not the first time that the Labour Party has had a small number of people in the Parliament, but we have always served very well, and we think our manifesto is sufficient to guide us along and to make any administration led by Gaston Browne to be a successful administration.
Yeah. And final word in terms of just the fact that this is the show of democracy unfolding right in front of people's eyes, the continuation of an administration following the will of the people expressed by the ballot, essentially the hallmark of a thriving democracy, isn't it?
Yeah, well, clearly they had an option. The people of Antigua and Barbuda were given clear options. We had some very, very competent candidates, and we thought that many of their candidates lacked substance. But the Antigua and Barbuda people were interested in ensuring that that people whom they wanted were present in the Parliament. And so they selected some people that we thought really ought not be serving in the Parliament. That was our view. But the voice of the people is the voice of God. So there must be some particular reason why God wants this. So we go along with it because it's God's doing. Yeah.
Ambassador Hurst, thank you so much for talking with us. Really appreciate it. And congratulations to yourself and the ABLP for winning another term in office, and to the Prime Minister, of course, for winning his third straight term, creating history.
Yeah, again, we are thankful to the role played by ABS and other media in Antigua and Barbuda. Certainly, the people of Antigua and Barbuda had an opportunity to see all those personalities on the television screen, as well as on Facebook and other social media, and you did a great job. Congratulations to ABS itself also, and to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. I'm pretty sure that the entire team thanks you and wishes you all the very best. Thanks very much.
Thank you, sir.
There we go. Ambassador Lionel Hurst, Chief of Staff in the Prime Minister's office, giving his reactions. We'll be getting a quick update, or we're getting some more reactions from other members of the new administration here, such as, for example, E.P. Chet Green. We'll be talking with him in a very, very short while as well. So, in addition, we expect to be able to hear from the Prime Minister as well. We're hoping to get a quick word from him. Pretty sure that he's going to be ensconced in a lot of discussions, and a lot of people will be looking to get, I'm pretty sure, congratulations to the Prime Minister, and also a quick word to him as well. Of course, we're seeing the foundations being laid for the new administration here, and of course this is Prime Minister Browne creating history with a third straight term for him in office. First time this is being done, and since, as you heard from Ambassador Hurst, since the country's independence. And so the Prime Minister, despite having a reduced majority, his government survives. He continues as Prime Minister, just sworn in for another term in office. So what the democracy has done is to give him, by virtue of his appointment by the Governor General there, the representative of the country's head of state, who is King Charles III in this case, what that has done is to give him the locus standi of another 5 years in office, to ensure that, as I said, his administration, his plans and policies can continue. Of course, he has his Attorney General to get that, and of course we look forward to what unfolds in relation to the cabinet being appointed. We're now speaking with Melford Nicholas, who of course will be part of the executive, the new executive, which is going to be announced tomorrow. Of course, Mr. Nicholas is the incumbent candidate who won in St. John's City East, turning back for the third straight time a challenge from Harold Lovell, leader of the United Progressive Party. It was a close one, but 6 votes it was, and 6 votes it was needed to ensure that Melford Nicholas continues as Member of Parliament elect, and of course will be back in the cabinet tomorrow. I'm tempted to say Minister Nicholas. I suppose that's just a matter of time before it's Minister Nicholas again. How does it feel, your reaction to what unfolded yesterday for us in terms of the vote?
Well, first of all, I'm humbled. And indeed honored at the same time to be back as a Member of Parliament for St. John City East. It was a hard-fought victory by any stretch of the imagination. Clearly there was a movement in terms of attitudes of the population, and my community was not immune to that movement, but notwithstanding, based on the groundwork that had been done by myself and my team, and the mobilization that took place even yesterday, it was sufficient to withstand the increase in support for Harold Lovell, and I was able to prevail, and I'm indeed thankful that set of events took place in my favor.
And you're looking forward to another stint in the cabinet, I'm sure.
Well, yes, there's much work to be done. I think, as I said in a previous interview, no one can fault the government for its performance in terms of its developmental agenda. But clearly, the people have indicated that they have been uncomfortable or disquieted about something, and we are going to have to do some introspection to determine what that is and to respond to it in a positive way. But notwithstanding that, in terms of being a member of the government and the cabinet, clearly we have a development agenda that we have outlined as the next level of development, and that needs work. So I am prepared to put in my yeoman work in respect of that, and to put my shoulder to the wheel, and clearly the work ahead of us is going to be phenomenal, and my role in the cabinet will be to take a chunk of it and run with it to the end.
Minister Nicholas, well, I'm pretty sure that it's just a matter of just a few hours before it's Minister Nicholas again. Congratulations to you. Heartiest congratulations and all the very best.
And let me take the opportunity to thank all my people from St. John City East, and in particular the team of persons who so selflessly worked with me throughout the past 16 months to put up what turns out to be a most crucial election victory for the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party.
Minister, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. All the very best. Congratulations. Thanks. We can now be joined in another few seconds now by Prime Minister and Prime Minister Gaston Browne, who, as I said, just sworn in, if you could come a little bit to your left, Prime Minister, thanks. Just sworn in for another term, creating history as the only Prime Minister so far to have gotten 3 consecutive terms. Congratulations, Prime Minister. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
How does it feel?
Well, I'm honored, I'm humbled. I'm honored, I'm humbled that the people of Antigua and Barbuda would have reposed such trust in me to extend a 3rd term as Prime Minister. And I want to take this opportunity to recommit to the empowerment of the people of Antigua and Barbuda, to use all of my energy, all of my intellect to continue to promote strategies for the empowerment, and at the same time to make sure that I never betray their trust. I have an unending love for the people of Antigua and Barbuda. I don't necessarily wear it on my sleeves, but the love for the people of Antigua and Barbuda is in my heart, and I'll continue to fight for them. I'll continue to do all in my power to empower them.
Indeed. Prime Minister, as you were looking at the results coming in last night, what was going through your mind, and what do you think accounted for the reduced majority that your administration now has?
Well, we always knew that a 3rd term would be difficult, and it was compounded by the residual aspects or challenges of the global crisis. You would know that we had to deal with the escalation in food prices, fuel prices, issues over which we had no control. It was further compounded by climate change, in which all of our aquifers, all of our water sources had dried up, and we had to embark on the purchase of reverse osmosis plants. The installation of the plants would have been slow to some extent. We still have a final plant to be installed. If it wasn't for COVID, that plant would have been installed already, but because of the logistics chaos, the parts took some time to get here. So we have had a myriad of challenges to deal with. We also had to deal with unrelenting opposition propaganda. We were not overly worried about that because we always felt that the truth will ultimately rise to the top. The latest thing they said is that I'm wanted by the FBI, and within a matter of days that I'll be taken away. And I know that a number of people believed it, but that's fine. That's par for the course. But there are some challenges that we just couldn't mitigate. The challenges associated with the COVID crisis, with climate change. But what is good, though, is that we have another term now, a new term, a fresh term, 5 years to resolve the various issues. There are some attendant issues associated with the crisis. There was an escalation in unemployment, and we know that people were feeling the pressure. They had to deal with increased food prices, fuel prices, and we understand that they had concerns, and they had to really let's say, placed the anger somewhere. Came to us, and we accept, we understand. But the good thing is, they did not vote us out of government. So we thank them for their mercy, and we thank God as well for his guidance and his protection. And I believe that God is with us, and we're just so grateful to be able to continue to preside over the governance of the country, especially from the standpoint that I think at this time we're literally poised to take the country to the next level of progress and prosperity. And I'm of the view that a governance change would have retarded progress and resulted in some level of retrogression, especially considering too that our opponents are not quite equipped to do the job. They say God don't do his work and spoil it, and that's precisely what has happened here. Yes, we got a message in that there are issues to be resolved, infrastructural issues, roads, curbs and drains, water, prices, which we have no control over, but we'll continue to look at ways and means in which we can continue to reduce prices, and they are reducing, while at the same time keeping the economy viable. I would say too that the opposition almost promised us out of government, because what they skillfully did, they created a level of false hope that the people bought into, that should they elect them, that automatically fuel prices will fall, food prices will fall, which would not have happened. But again, when people are suffering, they hold on to anything. Unfortunately, we didn't play that game. We didn't try to match them, because for me, my word is my bond, and I would not have given the people a commitment that we could reduce, let's say, food prices significantly, knowing that it was unlikely just to win the government, and then when we get back in, they call me a liar or deceiver. Those are really games that can be played by the opposition without consequences. But I, notwithstanding all of the challenges, was pretty confident I would have won. I felt too that if we'd gotten our act together, that we could have won all the seats. Unfortunately too, we have to take some responsibility in that we didn't have the level of energy within our campaign. I think some candidates took it for granted that all campaigns require energy. You can't just go an incumbency on your name. You have to get out there, you have to build relations. And this is something I would have said to them from time to time, and I have to tell you, we have a few candidates who just didn't put in the extra effort, and the results would have shown that. But at the end of the day, we're grateful that at least we're able to maintain the government, or the governance of the country.
Prime Minister, in a short while, I'm going to be talking to your Attorney General, who was sworn in as as one of the first members of your administration. Just before I get, congratulations, Attorney General.
Thank you very kindly.
Just before I say a quick word to the Attorney General, a final word to you, the rest of your cabinet. How is it likely to look?
Very small cabinet. I do not believe in bringing in a lot of senators to make ministers. So you'll have a smaller, more nimble cabinet, and I'm quite sure, based on the expanse of experience among the members of the cabinet, that they will continue to deliver for the people of Antigua and Barbuda.
Prime Minister, thank you. I'll order you to stay. Hold on if you can, or if probably you might have to run. But if you want, you can stay for a quick interview. Okay. Good one, Attorney General. Congratulations again on your win in St. John's to the South.
Thank you.
Quite a veteran, and congratulations on your appointment again as Attorney General. Your thoughts, your reactions?
Well, I must be honest when I say this. I was quite surprised at the results. I believe that we have done enough in this country to have gotten a very easy victory. We transformed Antigua and Barbuda completely. Education, health, you name it, we have done it. But I think the people wanted to send us a strong message. And I'm certain the Prime Minister listened, he heard, and we will deal with it. As the PM said, we're going to have a small cabinet, and we shall get together and bond together to carry forward the policies so that this government in this country can reach the next level.
A quick word on, in terms of your priorities now as Attorney General in this new term.
I shall be looking at the prisons. That's my number one situation. I shall be getting the legal framework of Antigua and Barbuda in place as I've started. The PM will tell you that we are ranked as the leading country in the region when it comes to legal infrastructure development. And I'm certain the PM will also be looking at the minimum wage quite regularly. The PM will be looking at social improvement programs as well, and we shall advance and meet the needs of all constituents and persons in the state, and especially those persons who are visitors from overseas, or the CARICOM nationals, for example. We shall be taking care of them, as we have said. Already the PM has thought of doing work permit fees and so on. A fantastic development. We will be the first country in the region doing that sort of thing.
Congratulations, Attorney General. Just another quick word to the Prime Minister finally. Other priorities for your administration in this new term?
Yeah, well, we have to continue to build out the socio-economic infrastructure, and one of the major projects for this year will be the expansion of UE5 Islands. As you know, we have secured a loan of $216 million to build out the campus, and that will commence, I would say, within a matter of months. So you would see too that we'll pursue a very aggressive urban renewal program. We hope to renew the housing stock to begin the process of ridding the country of all of these dilapidated wooden homes. We would have made some infrastructural investments in the creation of a concrete plant, a block plant, and we should be mining sand shortly. So those will give us some of the inputs for construction in which we will be able to reduce the cost. So housing will be, or let's say the production of homes will increase exponentially. We want to make sure we move pretty quickly to renew the housing stock in Antigua and Barbuda, and even the area of beautification. That is one of the areas that we'll be looking at, beautification of green and the island.
Prime Minister, thank you so much. Thank you for sparing the time. I know that you're extremely busy. You have many people wanting to speak with you and the Attorney General. Thank you so much. Congratulations again. All the very best. Take care. Indeed. All right, so there we go. Prime Minister and the Attorney General, of course, sworn in as the first members, of course, of the new administration. Joining us now is a veteran Member of Parliament elect again for St. Philip North, staving off a very stiff challenge from Alex Brown in St. Philip North to win, and he will, in this term, complete 50 years, 5 decades in the nation's legislature, unbroken. We're talking about Sir Robin here. Sir Robin, congratulations on your victory.
Thank you.
Your reactions?
Well, what you put in, you expect to get out. And I wasn't worried at all with the elections, to be honest. Wasn't worried with my seat. That is a Labour seat. Admittedly, people did not show up. And that was one of the causes all around the island that our bedrock supporters, some of them stayed at home. But I hope that they would recognize now their votes are needed to be counted to keep the Labour Party government in office.
As you look forward to, I'm going to say a quick word to Sir Molwyn Joseph in a short while, but as you look forward to completing 5 decades in this term, what are your expectations as you for this term? What do you want to achieve going, particularly in this term?
Well, in this term, I want to make sure that this government is put on its proper feet, and all things, it's business, nothing else but business, and to bring it and to satisfy the needs and wishes of the people of Antigua and Barbuda.
Sir Robin, thank you so much. Congratulations again, all the best. Indeed. Let's talk now to Sir Molwyn Joseph. Sir Molwyn, congratulations on your victory. 8th overall victory in St. Mary's North. He was first elected in 1984. Has held the seat except for one term, 2004 to 2009. Joseph Bertrand, whom we had on our panel last night. So, Sir Molwyn, as you, firstly, your reactions to what happened yesterday with the results, your own seat, and generally the other constituencies.
Well, let me make the observation that an election result is a celebration of our democracy. We're here this morning, the swearing of the Prime Minister and the Attorney General, in peace and hopefully in harmony in Antigua and Barbuda. My reaction is that this is an extremely resilient government. No government has been through the difficulty as this government. And the fact that we were able to come back and win an election speaks well for the resilience of this administration.
And your seat, were you at any point worried about, because you face a stiff challenge too in your St. Mary's North seat?
No, I was not worried. I realized there were some difficulties, and we know what the difficulties are. We had infrastructure problems, and also there was the residual effect of COVID and the resulting unemployment in Antigua and Barbuda. Those were issues that were difficult for the people of Antigua and Barbuda. So we understand, and what we have to do now is to look forward in the future
I'm very excited on the robust economic recovery that we anticipate going through the next year or two.
The final question, Sir Molwyn, just before I talk to Maria Brown, who is your colleague, who also won her seat in the rural East and who will be, I'm pretty sure, in the cabinet tomorrow when the cabinet is announced. What do you think would be a priority for yourself? Let's say your return to the Ministry of Health. We'll see what the Prime Minister does tomorrow. What would be your priority?
My priority in the Ministry of Health is to improve the services. We have really improved on the level of the specialties in Antigua and Barbuda. But the delivery of the services, the customer service in the hospital is a big priority for me. People going to the hospital must believe that, must have the experience that there is professionalism and a sense that those who are providing the service have empathy and whenever necessary sympathy when people go to the hospital for care. That is a big priority. We have the expertise, but even if you have good doctors, the service must be delivered in a way that is acceptable to the public who are their clients. That is there are other priorities, of course, but that is foremost on my mind. We have to gentle, be more welcoming at the customer level, as it is in any other business.
Sir Molwyn, congratulations again. Thank you so much, and we wish you all the very best. Take care. All the best. Thanks. All right, that's Sir Molwyn Joseph speaking with us there. We're going to be getting a very short word right now with Maria Brown, the winning candidate for St. John's Rural East, winning again for the second straight time, staving off a bit of a spirited challenge from Sean Bird in that constituency to eventually win quite handily as well. Congratulations, Minister Brown. We say Minister Brown because, of course, the cabinet will be named tomorrow, and it would be, without being clairvoyant, we expect that you will be named to the cabinet again. As your reactions to your seat and what happened generally across the island in the results yesterday?
I'm elated that the people of St. John's Rural East have entrusted in me the responsibility to represent them once again. I'm extremely grateful. I will not let them down. I'm going to continue to work in their best interest. But it is a bitter feeling as well too, because I lost a dear colleague in the form of Comrade Samantha Marshall. I will miss her dearly. It's a little bitter as well too, because this is the first time that we've had so many females on the slates for elections. This 2023 elections, we've seen the most female candidates ever, and I was really hoping that they would have been shown some more support across the board, and obviously to have some more female representation in the lower house. That being said, I'll be sure to pull my weight for women and girls within the lower house, and I think that St. John's Rural East is on to the next level. We have a lot of plans laid out in my manifesto that I would have outlined, some that have already started, so we're going to have an exciting term.
Indeed. And as you mentioned, this, you will be the only female in the lower house when members of parliament are sworn in for the new term. Talk to me about, in terms of, what do you think accounted for the results yesterday across the nation?
I think there were some issues that we were facing. I mean, the issue of water was not one to be run away from. We know that that was foremost an issue. Within my own constituency, I know the issue of unemployment was a great issue at the polls as well too. So there are some aspects that we need to pay close attention to going forward. Well, we would have heard, as it pertains to employment, we would have heard the Honourable Prime Minister speak about 3,000 jobs.
And after winning the legislative elections, the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Gaston Browne, was sworn in for a third term as his Labour Party secured the necessary seats in the Parliament to continue ruling. Browne took the oath of office, accompanied by his wife and relatives, the top officials and the electoral authorities, as he now stands in the top job for another 5-year term. Let's remember, Antigua and Barbuda is part of the British Commonwealth of Nations, so its main ruler is His Majesty King Charles III and is governed by a Prime Minister. Other authorities were sworn in as the Attorney General Steedroy O. Benjamin. We will provide you with more details in upcoming news briefs. Stay with us.